Let's talk about why a lack of rental history or a lack of verifiable rental history can derail your mortgage approval. If you think by paying your rent in cash or living rent free helps you increase the chances of you buying a home, the answer is no. In many cases, a lack of documented rental history and a lack of documented rental amount can create major problems during the mortgage loan process. Here's why. Rental history matters because when lenders approve a mortgage, we look at your rental history because that's the closest thing to a mortgage payment that you've had. So if you pay too little for rent, and too little for rent is like I'm paying $400 a month for rent. Now I want to go to a $2,000 a month mortgage. That's going to be a big issue. You're paying more than 125% in your mortgage than you were paying for rent. Living rent free is even worse because you went from not having any housing expense to actually now having a housing expense. And one of the things worse than that is paying your landlord in cash. You could be paying your landlord in cash for whatever reason. They don't trust you. They have trust issues with anyone. That's the only way they want to accept it. Then I would say if you want to purchase a home in the next 12 months, you need to move or go somewhere where you can actually have your rent documented. And so that when you want to purchase a home, that's not going to be an obstacle for you. You have a lot of options for documenting your rent. There's apps online. If you Zelle someone your Zelle or Cash App your rent or things like that, you need to notify that it's rent. You need to notate that it's rent on your report so that it can be verified. But not being able to verify your rent is not going to be an excuse when it's time for your loan to close because the landlord only accepted cash payments. It's on you to be proactive and start documenting your rental payments. If you do pay someone out of cash, maybe and you had to do something or something happened that month, you need to show where it could come out of your bank account. People are like, oh, those 2 months I paid them in cash. Those 2 months out of 12 only equals 10 months. So you don't have 12 months of verification. So paying in cash anytime is a problem is really a no-no. You should do that just to protect yourself in case of any disputes with your landlord. Are there undisclosed living arrangements or expenses? Can you document a stable residency? So like if you said you were living here, but you weren't paying any rent or you were living rent free, but you were paying toward the utilities, were your name on any of the utilities? Those are things that can be asked. If you were paying someone in cash, we could try to help you if you could show that you were paying utilities at that location. But if you weren't, then there's no true rental history or residential history for you. These things also come up when you show different addresses on your credit report. If you have different addresses on your credit report, we're going to ask what those addresses are to you. Is this my mom's house that I always, just have my mail go to? Or was this a boyfriend or girlfriend's home? Or did you not ever live there? All those addresses that you've used to apply for credit or anything like that, they come up on fraud alerts and on credit reports, and they have to be acknowledged and explained why do you have these different addresses. If you have a different address on your driver's license versus your bank statement and versus your pay stub at work, why do you have all those different addresses? A lot of these things people don't think about, but they all really show instability, when it comes to being a mortgage, a mortgage borrower and getting approved for a mortgage. The more streamlined your finances are, the more together everything matches, the better it is for you to get loan approvals. Especially if you're a first-time renter, you're a first-time renter, or then you definitely don't want to go into a property just because it seems easy. Oh, it's less, they'll take cash, I can pay them in cash. Don't do that. It's a trap. You'll be renting there forever because that person not wanting to take your rent in a documentable form is inhibiting you and derailing your mortgage loan approval someday later. So you'd have to move to somewhere and actually start being able to pay rent where you can document it. If they are, and that's the agreement you started, you want to have that conversation with your landlord. Hey, can I pay you by bank transfers? And I Zelle you? Can I do direct deposits to your bank? And then you'd have to show in your bank statements at least the last 12 months where you paid them in rent, and it's notated in that. Note that if you have excellent credit, yes, you could probably get by without having rental history, but a lot of people don't have excellent credit. Now, if you have enough lines of credit, you can get it by without getting by rental history, but you could have a 700 credit score and only have one trade line. You don't have the required 3 trade lines to actually get an automated approval. You will need rental history. So if you have questions and you want to know your scenario, how far you are from being able to purchase a home, and what can you do, not just about your rental situation or any situation regarding finance, give me a call, 404-461-3172 or reggieloans.com. Talk to you soon.